Hi, it's Ryan from Knights Around a Table, and Rio Grande Games was kind enough to send along a copy of Broadhorns for me to unbox and play and describe to you. Unlike my other unboxing videos where I know so much about the game, I know literally zero about this game, except maybe when the box tells me it takes place on a river, and I'm reminded of there have been a few other games that take place on rivers. There's The River from Days of Wonder. There are other games that take place on the Mississippi. I'm guessing from the back of the box that this is possibly a pick up and deliver kind of thing along the river. And I know that it's called Broadhorns because that is what they call the boats on the river, because they're shaped the same as cattle horns. And I think I know that because I read the back of the box. So journey with me to unbox this one and find out what's inside. Very recently I've been playing Great Western Trail, and I really wonder how similar this game is to that game, because in that game you had a path that you had to go down with your cards full of goods to trade, in that case cows, and you would go down the trail multiple times in the game to deliver your cows and maximize your points. I really wonder if you can make a game about going down a river so that you only go down the river once, and if that's interesting. I don't know if that's the case with this one. Oh, I thought box fartometer was gonna be a 0. I'd put that at maybe a 3. I'll give it a 4. All right. Check it out. Off the top, the board, let's see how big it is. Let's see how much table space it takes up. Quite a bit. Oh my goodness. Where am I gonna put everything? So much table space, I can't even get the entire thing in the shot, so I'm going to do a cheap man's pan. I don't know, that's not really Mississippi music. Something like that. And I've hit my monitor, I can't go left any further. There are numbered spaces along the river. It's a matte finish on the board, I can tell you that much, so it's not super glossy and high shine. And I think, oh, I wonder if you're actually supposed to put it in portrait mode, not landscape. That surprises me. Yes, because everything's printed this way. I don't know how you feel about it, but certain games bum me out a little bit in the way that they are oriented so that one person gets a good view of the board and everybody else around the board is kind of hosed because they have to look at it sideways and upside down. Great Western Trail was like that. This looks like it's a similar thing. I don't know, it depends on how well you read sideways, I suppose. Look, they tried to defer to people sitting on the side by printing the logo sideways and then everything else right side up. Baton Rouge, Vicksburg, Chickasaw Bluffs. Those are real places. Neato. Neato. And it looks like, in the empty spots. I've played board games before. I got this. There are empty spaces to put cards in. We all learned something today. Okay, well, let's find out what those cards are about. Or tiles even. Looks like we have, next up in the box, a bunch of punch board. And these are an arrowy sort of shape that match the locations on the board, the shape. So I wonder if it's the kind of thing where the existing spots off the top of the game are okay, but they kind of stink, and then you build or place these ones and they give you better perks and rewards. That's usually how this kind of thing goes. So 2 sheets of punch board. The rule book, which I'm always very interested in. Neat, you get to punch out your little Broadhorn boats and put them together in their little standees. That's kind of fun. The rule book is text heavy. There are some pictures, there are some examples. That's usually what I look for now in a rule book. They'll explain the rule, and as long as they have a nice example of what they're talking about, you can usually muddle through it. This looks a little scant on examples, but maybe it doesn't read it. And, I won't know until I actually read the rule book. Oh, look, examples are in italics, maybe not with pictures, but hard to say. More things to punch. These, I'm guessing, yeah, because they're differently colored, these look like your player boards where you store all the different things that you can collect. And I wonder if the arrows mean that, I'm reminded of, you know, maybe viticulture where you have your grapes and your wine, and every round they advance and they age and they get better and more valuable. But if I were to hazard a guess, this is interesting. At the end of these arrows, look, everything starts out white, which we know is a good color, and black is a bad color. But it looks like they start out fresh and they go towards rot, I'm guessing, because there's a little bug at the end of these. So maybe your goods sour as you get down the river further and further. And locusts and flies take over. Kind of the opposite of viticulture, aging your things to sell them for more money. Here are some punchboard, standee. Everybody's got to play a crusty old white dude in this game. Fine, it's historical, I don't know. And then this one is more of the same, more player boards. There seem to be a lot of player boards though. I didn't even check the number of players that this game can accommodate. Let's take a look. Interesting, 2 to 4 players, yet there are definitely, if I'm counting properly, yes, definitely more than 4 of what I thought were player boards. So maybe you own multiple boats in this game. It's not just one single ship. Maybe that's how they handle the go down the river once and that's it. Maybe because you're, you know, you've got multiple cargo boats going down the river. I just don't know. What else do we get? We get a nice cloth bag. This is nice because the top is hemmed. I had a game recently where it wasn't, and then the more you played, the more it frayed and looked like it belonged to a scarecrow witch. Tokens. Oh, look. I don't have any games that have wooden barrels as tokens. Perhaps you do. And I have very few. I'm trying to think of how many games I have that have pink components in them. That's very interesting. What colors do we have? It's always interesting to try to figure out what is player color and what is, you know, game resource color. So see if I can sort it out. These 4 discs are going to be the player colors. So you can be crusty old white guy purple, crusty old white guy green, crusty old white guy yellow, or crusty old white guy gray, which seems the most fitting, I think. And then these little boat tokens in the 4 different player colors. All right, and finally, perhaps those barrels roll. You're gonna wanna put those on their ends or else they're gonna be everywhere like they are now. The cards. Thank you very much, Rio Grande, for providing a rip strip on your cards so we can open them easily. If I were to estimate, I would say there are about 50,000 cards in this deck. What do they look like? Okay, so there's the back of the cards. There's the front of the cards, and it looks like we've got different types of cards in here. So I'm gonna flip this. Those are the same. Oh, interesting. This looks like a player guide. These are blank. More player guide looking things. And then this looks like the main deck right here. These look like cards governing the movement. These are cards that maybe add money to the stuff you're selling. I'm pretty sure I guessed that bug right, and that does mean rotting food. So this means, oh, maybe you're trading in your garbage for points. Garbage food. Red means apples. Pink, oh, look at that. Pink is ham. Who knew? White is wheat. That's unexpected. I think that's right. Oh, beige. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. So there's this beige icon, and I think that's what matches wheat. Again, I'm just guessing. And brown is beef jerky. I have no idea what that's a picture of. Leather? It seems to be all food, so I don't know. What are those? What is that? Count Chocula? I have no idea what that's supposed to depict. I will find out. Yeah, hold on. I'll take a quick sojourn into the instruction booklet and tell you. Furs. Brown means furs. Okay, fine. And then yellow is some kind of hooch. gray, I think, is passengers, it looks like. Right, because you got to take passengers down the river. That's cool. They look nice. They're fairly well illustrated. I complain a lot about the... Oh, cool, look, Mark Twain is a potential passenger. He's got The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. I assume that's him. Looks a bit young. I don't know how old he was when he wrote that. Or maybe he's just a dude reading it who's got a Mark Twain mustache. I don't know. Is this supposed to be Lincoln? I don't know what's going on. I complain a lot about human drawings in board games because I find they're not all that well done. But these guys, they look fine. They look fine to me. Great! I won't know what any of this means until I play it, which is exactly what I'm going to do. I'll play it, possibly do a how to play video or find the fun video to tell you what I think about Broadhorns. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching. Did you just watch that whole thing? Oh, hey, to 100% this video, click the badge to subscribe and then click the bell to get notifications when I've got new stuff.